action here before I even know we're live. Turn on the torch, light up the flame. Time to melt some glass, my friends. There you are. Here I am to explain, to teach, and create again. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I don't know if I'm live yet, but it's got a little bit of a delay going on. Hopefully, I am. And I'm here with David Gahhruuba, and we are doing. Oh, here it goes. Oh, yep. Here, shaking your head. I'm also today. I noticed last time I did a lot of the camera on you, but we will go for. I've got to turn off that volume, and wait a minute. I got to mute that side because I'm hearing the echo, and it's going to drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Hi, Eric, in the chat room. It's nice to see you, and I'm glad you're with us. And anybody else who shows up, we are doing this live version, and it doesn't look like. Well, I hope that it comes out better in the recorded, because right now, what he's doing up is, it almost looks weird. Let's see what I can do and see if me changing over to my camera would help get off that color blend going on. And in mine, I look like the Wizard of Oz. You can see my face. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Here he goes. Let me go ahead. I'm going to get onto my, let's see, where is it at? There it is. Yeah, here I am.
Give me 1 second, Lou. I'm going to plug in some headphones to my phone.
Okay, no problem. You're fine. We're going to review a little bit of what we've already done, which is a snail. And I also wanted to do a quick showing. I did this on a video, on one of my videos, but here is one of my old books. Matter of fact, I should probably do this a little bit different. Maybe I'll use the other camera side here. Let me see. That one. Okay. These are some of my old drawings that I did when I very first started doing glass blowing, okay? And these are some of the things that that were in some of the drawings. Now, this one is the one we just did last week, which was, or Wednesday, which was a snail. And then just below that, you can see the turtle that we did in the very first one with Renee Shepherd and her husband, Lauren. Today we're going to see about doing, let me see if it's up here. Of course, it's not here at the moment. Of course, no. Oh, there it is. Right. Let's see. We're going to try to do a cat, guys, and see if we can't make headway on that. Okay? Now, where were we? My torch is lit. Not my oxygen concentrator is on. My torch is not lit. Let's see what we can do here. Of course, when you want it to light up all the time, it's never going to. Take it out a little bit. There we go. Come on.
Close of the live stream.
Always live. Please. Where's a lighter when you need one, right? And I don't believe in those. This one, well, I got a spare. Let's see if this. See, what I usually use these things for is just, most of the time the gas is gone in these things. All I use it for is the pyogesic striker that's going on inside there, the electric strike, so that you can just click, 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 and start the fire. And using the, I find those welding torch lighters, the flame sort of backlashes at you, so I don't really like that too much. But with that, the spark is there, and it lights the flame, and it does quite a nice job. And even before they had those type of lighters, I got one that was older than sin, and that's all it did was just go clink, 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 and it cost me an arm and a leg. But as things got better, so did we. Now, we're going to do this in clear, and later on we'll do it in David will probably do one in color and add his own little flair to it, knowing him. Hello to all those people in the chat room. I wanted to say hi and tell you that I'm thinking of you guys, and I will try to look over at the chat from time to time. And at the end of this episode, I wanted to try to do a very quick, what I would call a request, where you guys can ask what you would like to see me do. And if it's within the 3 to 4 minute zone, I guess you could say, we're going to go with that. Now, the reason I brought up those drawings that I showed us a little while ago, guys, was as you learn to set up your studio and stuff, one of the things that I would suggest you have is an erase board or chalkboard or a drawing pad to sort of sketch with. Dave, where you at? What you doing?
I'm just rounding out stuff.
You're just getting a nice round ball going on. You're good. Now, one of the things that we have been working on is the round ball in our repertoire of alphabet of shapes, I guess you could say, if you understand that principle. And that basic shape went into the turtle shell, and then you heated it up and flattened it and made more of a a disc or a derby-looking shape. But it was still it was off the round ball shape. The snail was off the round ball because you made the main body of the shell out of the round ball, and then just added the tail and the neck to it. This one is going to be a little bit more camouflated, but I think with your skills, Dave, you can acquire and come close, if not achieve it quite quickly. Okay? Now, first of all, I did a round, well, I didn't, it's basically a little bend or a peanut shape is what the body is going to be. Matter of fact, that's what it is. Okay? And that is made out of like 8 or 9 mil. That's in my left hand. Okay? And then I sort of heated it up a little bit and slumped it slightly. Let's see if I can show you. It's sort of like, and it's the start of a peanut. And basically, I'm going to do the upper half shell or shape of this peanut. And this peanut shape will be another letter, I guess you could say, in your alphabet of shapes that you will continue doing over and over and over and over again. I keep repeating that because it is a shape that will come handy in your repertoire, because the basic human body, the basic shape of most animals and stuff have that lower torso, lower body shape and an upper torso shape that goes, and then usually legs come off down at the bottom. Let me see if I can get, legs would come off down at the bottom of this shape, and then the head would come at the top of the shape. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is I am going to turn off my torch just for a second. You can keep warming yours in, and I'm going to see if I, of course, when you want one, there's never a pencil or pen available. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to see if we can do this. Draw out what we're going to do here. The basic shape is a peanut shape. Oh, of course, the pen that I got is not working. What about a pencil somewhere, guys? Come on. One thing you'll learn about me is that I try to shoot straight from the hip, and if you see me make an accident, you'll see the accident. I don't try to edit those things out. I want people to know that you can make mistakes and still go forward. Now, basically, the body of this thing is a peanut or a bean shape looking thing. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yep.
And down at the bottom here, we're going to add a little bit of a round and then spot it, and then add a leg out like this on both sides of it. And then on top of that, we're going to add the head. And then we're also going to, before we do the head, we're going to do some arms out here, and I will show you what to do with the arms. And we're going to be holding it on. The punte is going to be where the tail is, and that will come in later as we curlicue the tail around and make that into a thing. I know that doesn't look like much like a cat at this point, but my drawings, once I started doing glass, looked a whole much, and this is a quick sketch so that you guys could see what I'm talking about and to give you an idea of the direction we're going in. Hey, it lit this time. Good thing. Okay. Now with that, I have that peanut shape going on, and I have where the tail is the punte, and it's a good weld. It's not a cold weld, okay? Now go ahead and have you got the basic shape of a peanut going? Well, you got the back shape of the body going on. That's good.
Yeah, I got a little.
And I think you're using about, it looks like 10 mil. 10 or 12, yeah, about 10 mil, just from the quick view. I know I make mine a little bit smaller because I guess for one sake is that people can see from start to finish a little bit quicker. And I've got to learn that people can get around that.
Still trying to make that peanut shape here.
All you got to do is just heat it and it bends slightly by itself. Let gravity work for you. Let's see what you got. Keep rolling, and then when you want it to sort of slump, you start heating it up on that side a little bit longer than the other side, and just keep rolling it, but you just heat it up and hold it there a little bit longer on that side, and you'll find that it curves right on over. You let gravity work with you, not against you. Let's see what you got. Go ahead and put the punte on the back of that for the tail. You're looking good. Now, you've got the basic part of that going, the droop side down is where you want this. I'm trying to point at the screen, and that's not going to help. But the back side of the tail is where it's sort of curving downward where you got it.
Yep.
Just heat and seal in where the tail is going to be at that spot, and that'll be your punte to do the whole body. Yeah, about right there. You got it.
Give it a nice hot seal.
Now I'm going to put me on the main screen for the next set, and then I'll click you back over when it's your turn to do your part of it. I'm sorry you guys have not been seeing a little bit, but again, you can see that I've got a peanut shape going on for the main part of the body,
Yep.
and this is where the tail is, back here. Now, the next section you're going to do for this cat. Let me make sure you're about right with me. You got the tail going on?
Rod here.
Huh?
Tearing off my rod.
Okay. One of the things I've noticed, Dave, is you see where my hands are on my glass? Really, really close. The further out you get from what you're working on, you can get control. But the closer you are to what you're working on and you can put up with the heat, the more control you have. It's like trying to write words with the end of the pencil with the point way, way down there. You can still make the letters, but you don't have as much control. The closer you are, the more, the more stable, and it's not going to burn you. Glass is not a good conductor of heat, great conductor of light. Okay. Now you've got a good thing going on there. Good curvature going on. I think we can make that work. Now I want you to tilt heat right at where the tail is going to be. right on yours where the tail is going to be, and I want you to make it to where the tail is pointing at a right angle. Oops, I did the tail in the wrong direction, sorry. On mine. Let me get to that one. Here, I have the control of the camera angles. Yeah, I know I'm getting there on the main screen, and I've got to start reading what's on the thing too. Yeah, I need somebody in the chat room that has control that they can click back and forth, not me. Probably. We'll work on that, and it's one of those things. We're gonna get there. Now, let me see what you got. Okay, good enough. We'll go from there, and you'll learn a lot from it anyway. Now I'm going to go back to the main screen here for me. Now what you're going to do is just a little bit in front of where you put the tail, you're going to heat up a good heat seal here. You're going to touch two, heat it up a little bit more, and pull it out, and it's going to make a little bit of a blob going on there. And then you're going to flatten it out. And that's going to be the back hind haunch of the cat's leg, okay? It'll look like, it doesn't look like much right now, but it'll look okay when everything's said and done, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and repeat that to the other side. You heat that up, let it nice and melt it in, and press. And we're going to go from there. And even as you're doing this slower this time around, the faster you get at it, now it's your turn. I'll just be up here and waiting, and you got to keep that. You got both of those on there?
I got the one on, and then do you want to just snip right next to it, or?
No, it's going to be on the opposite side. The exact opposite side. Now, what you're going to do is heat up that blob and flatten it down as a disc on the side of, or did you do that already?
Yep, I did that.
Okay, now go ahead and do it to the opposite side, because this is the hind haunches, or the hind legs of the cat. It doesn't look like that much now, but it will as time goes on. Thank you very much. Just set it over there. Okay. Flatten it, yep. You could have done that easier with your Elmarver at the top of your torch. You've got to learn to use it. Now, I know it's new to you, and a lot of things are new to you, and you got to learn to when and where and how. On me, it's easier for me to just heat and boom. I'm used to that. You've got that Elmarver there, and it's like boom. You could do it that way. It's okay. 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 Now, you're going to add to each one of these little discs that you just did, just a straight line, and that's going to be the back foot of the cat, and you're just going to do it straight out from, and let me do one, and then you just watch me. Actually, wait, I need to get on the main screen here. There we are. Okay, sorry people. It's going to be fun, but we're going to get there. As you can see, that round disc, and I'm just heating it up, and I sealed a good seal to it, and then pull forward. And that's going to be the back leg, one of the back legs, and then I'm going to heat up in the same direction, not the same direction, but on the other leg, the same idea. You heat it up, and you go about 1/4 of an inch out, or depending upon the dimensions of your animal. And then there you go. It's sort of looking a little like a kangaroo, but you can let it heat in and it rounds off to a smaller, shorter leg, but that'll work out well in the long run. Okay? Now let's see what you can do. Back to you, Davey. Sorry about that, Davey. Do you like Dave better, or what? How do you like?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I tell people you can call me anything you want, but don't call me late for dinner. Eric, I'm glad you're in the room. At least somebody's watching us, keeping us keeping us honest. Okay.
This is gonna be a wonky cat.
It's okay. This is your first one. This is something, again, this is like learning to spell a word you didn't know how to spell before. And or learn that you had a few alphabets that you got to learn how to spell too. Or learn how to make also.
Yeah.
Because these are an alphabet of shapes that you will draw from time and time and time again. We lost your feed. I can see
Really?
you, but they can't see you. I wonder why. Oh, there. Well, no. Let's click on you again. All of a sudden, I guess it randomizes from time to time.
Yep.
There you go. Now let me see what you got. Wow, you got some way long legs. I'd melt off just a little bit on each one, just about a quarter of that or a third of that.
Yep.
You don't need it way, way out, but that'll do. And I'm going to put myself on the main screen. Okay, you can see my, this is where the tail is going to be. This is, and these are the hind haunches that we just finished doing. Okay. You got to keep it warm. Don't let it go without keeping it warm. Now,
Shit.
you're going to go to the top of the peanut. Let me check out and see how your back feet are coming. I should check a look. That'll work for this time. Okay,
Yeah.
you will get better. I know you will. Okay, now you're going to go to the front of this peanut, and you're going to add two more straight lines. These are going to be the front paws. And this cat is going to be sort of like sitting up and playing with something like his tail, or not his tail, but just sort of sitting up and begging or playing type deal. So he's sort of sitting up on his hind haunches is what the idea of this one is. So you just basically at this point put a leg in the front top and then another leg. Actually, this cat could actually stand if you wanted it to. Mine that could anyway.
Yeah.
Those two legs are about the same length and going off symmetrically from each other on both sides of the cat. You see that?
Yup.
Okay. Now this film is back. The camera's back to you.
Got my peanut shape off a little bit here.
Just again, make sure the main thing right now. It could look like crap, to tell you the truth, but as long as you have good welds going on, that's the foundation that you're working with right now. You've got to learn to make sure your welds are on spot. That it's not two pieces of glass stuck together, but one piece of glass when you're finished.
Yep. Alright, so I'm gonna make the two legs.
Just one leg in front and one leg behind. Yeah. I wish I was there. I'd probably nudge your elbow once or twice, saying, "Put it a little bit more in this direction, or put it a little bit more in that direction." We'll get that
Yeah.
chance. I'm pretty sure one of these days.
Let's come make a trip down to your place.
Uh,
Else we'll meet up at a. I'm hopefully gonna go
meet
to
up at
Mel's next year.
yeah, melt something or something. I can see that happen too. Okay. Let's see what you got. So,
I got it all wonky here.
That's okay. Now, actually, the way you got it is that he'll be sort of flumping his legs to the side, and his front legs will be sort of sitting there like he's, you know, fat and sassy sitting down. You're doing okay. Believe me. You got to have a little bit of imagination when you're working with glass sometimes, okay?
Sure.
Now, I'm going to continue on. Welcome, who's ever watching. Say hello in the chat room, and I'll say hi. We're going on. We're making a cat at this point in time in the presentation. We're working on the head of the cat. Okay. Now, when you add the head of the cat, you're doing just like you've done with the legs, but you're going to do a little bit longer and a little bit more glass, and then round it down into a nice little ball, which is going to become the head of the cat.
Yeah.
Just add a nice long leg like you did before, and then just round in a ball, and that's going to be the head of the cat. And now back to you. And again, the head is in the middle between those two front legs that you put up there.
Yep. Kind of where the
on top,
end of the
yes.
feet is.
Weld it together well. Again, I'm not saying it's going to look like crap, but as long as your welds are good and you're keeping it warm as you're working it, because that's where the cracks come in, is when you heat it and go back or heat it and go forward. Okay?
Yep.
Now, I know a lot of this is straight from the hip, and you don't even know what you're doing until you do it, which is okay. Because most of the time, you really don't know what you're that's coming out wrong. In some instances, when you're doing something new, you don't know what you're doing, but you're trying to come up with a solution to get there. Okay? And sometimes it helps that somebody knows what's going on, the big picture. And sometimes, again, that's where that sketch pad or drawing board or whatever will have, so that you can say, this is about the shapes that I was trying to go for, and let's go from there. Let's see what you got. You got the head going on. That's good. Now, back to me. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Now, we're going to do ears, and the ears are basically in the top, back of the head. And what I do for the ear is I sort of heat it up and make one long pull out and then fold it over, and then heat it up and seal it in and pull it out into a point, and you've got one cat ear. Now I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to try to do that with the with the mirror on, so maybe you could see it a little better in the flame. Touch 2, you heat up a little bit, you pull it out a little bit, fold it over, touch 2 the body, heat it and seal it in well, and then pull it out, and you got a pointy ear. Now, if you don't think you are capable of doing that, if you do just a little blob, pinch it, and then come back later and heat and pull it, it will do the same effect. It will get you there, but this is my way of doing it just a little faster, I guess. But if you have to stop, make it a little round ball, pinch and pull out, and pinch and pull out, we can go from there. Does that sound?
It's like making a bail, pretty much. That's like making a bail.
Yes, but you're not making it, you're just sort of pinching it and pulling it out slightly to make a point.
Yep.
Oh, let me put you on the main screen. Sorry. Welcome, people who's watching. I'm hoping that you're enjoying the show. Click like if you like it. If you have any comments, chat in the chat room there and say hi, or I am going to do a quick I guess you could say, a request. If somebody wanted to tell me to make an animal, I'll show. If it's within a 3 to 4 minute window, I will make it. And we're about, well, I wouldn't say completely through. We've got to finish the head here and pull off the tail, and then we've got a cat going on. And after we finish this cat, I was going to do another cat real quick so that you could see one from beginning to end in production line style setup. Did you like that idea when I did it the last time?
Yes, it worked good.
It made a little bit more sense in the long run.
Yep.
Maybe I didn't do it in the last one. I can't remember. No, I did the mushroom last time. I didn't do the snail.
Yep. Alright, I got my ears on there.
Okay. Did you just round them in, or do you got points going on?
I can make some points quick.
Yeah. Let's see. Is this? Probably is. Look. Okay. Now, if you have some cobalt blue glass handy, or if you've got green or jade green eyes, this would be a good time to get that out. And make a little tiny stringer for the eyes. That way, eyes are the windows to the soul. And if you're doing an animal and you can put some eyes on it, people look for the eyes. I don't know why, they just do. And if it has eyes, that's fine. If it doesn't have eyes, that's fine too. They imagine them there. But putting some eyes on there, they look for it. I don't know why, they do. Even the horses. I mean, if it doesn't have eyes, they don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to come back to me, and with the eyes, all we got to do now is the eyes and the nose, and heat up the tail, and this cat is in the can, I guess you could say. Okay. Now with the eyes, you're heating up where the eyes are going to be touching to, a little bit of an orange, and you're going to have sort of a little bit of a stringer going on, and you're going to heat that up just slightly, touch it to, pull away, and make a nice round eye. And then the fun part is making sure the other eye is on the other side of the head, not higher or lower, but in about the same vertical height, shape.
Yep. Symmetry.
It's a practice. It is a practice. And that's all you got to do for eyes. It's just a little touch, pull, heat it up and round it in, and you got a nice, in my case, I've got some nice jade green eyes on my cat here. Now let's back to you again. At least we got some people. We got 2 people watching at the moment. Maybe one of that is me. I don't know. It probably is. I never thought of that. The other one is Eric. But anyway, one of the things I wish we had in the chat room going on is live voice feed from the chat room in some respects. But maybe in the future. Okay, maybe in the future. How you doing with those eyes?
Got them on there.
Okay.
Get them in. Melted them in a little bit.
Now the cat mouth / nose is basically a little bit of a vamp from the ear, but not quite. It's just a touch and sort of pull up. Kind of hard to explain. You got to do it underneath the 2 eyes, of course. Heat it up. Make sure it's a nice, good seal going on. You pull it out like you're doing the leg, but all of a sudden you'll just go and pull it up.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. But it works for me. I can't. I did that, and you were. The thing was on you. Hold it. Let me see. Let me do that again, so that you can see it, because you got me on your main screen all the time. But other people, the live feed. In other words, you touch it to like this, and then you just pull upwards and burn it off, and it makes a nice little round ball. And sometimes you might have to push in just a little bit for the nose. I think I did it better the first time, but it had to demonstrate so that people could see it on the live feed.
Yep.
And that is the cat nose that I usually do. It's a caricature nose. It's not a, you can sit there and learn how to make a nice nose. Shell is the best
kinda.
cat and dog maker that I know of. She knows how to really make the details on cats and dogs come out, I tell you. Okay, let me put it back onto you. How's that nose coming?
It's a nose.
It's a nose. That's the main thing. It's just so long as it's sort of like touched and pulled out and turned up a little bit. That's a cat nose, and that'll pass as a cat in the long run. Believe me. Believe it or not, when it comes to making cats, cat lovers love any type of cat that you can make. Now there are a few that want to have like a Siamese or something that looks like their cat. But 9 times out of 10, if you make it look a little like a cat, cat lovers will buy it. Now dog lovers, 9 times out of 10, it's got to look like their dog. I don't know why, but it's got to look like their dog. I mean, if they got a dachshund, it's got to look like a dachshund. If it looks like a Doberman, it's got to look like a Doberman. Now, I have been able to make it to the point where people I do a puppy, and I say, do you want a long nose or short nose? Do you want a floppy ears or pointy ears? And I can get away with doing a dog like that, sort of like a puppy type dog. Now we're going to go and make a cold weld on one of the front legs, like you see me doing here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to switch sides on me here. And we're now going to work on the tail of this cat. And we'll also work on the base that it sits for this cat. Okay? Once you get the base of the tail warmed up again, you will now pull it out a little bit. I usually go up a little bit, let it cool slightly, like you see me doing, and then I'll heat it up a little bit more and curve it in another direction. And then I'll let it cool slightly again and let it then curve it in a sort of another direction. And it makes sort of like a curlicue of a tail.
Yeah.
It gives it a little bit of life, so it looks like it wasn't just, thumped or pointed out like that. It has like it's like cats' tails do, wave back and forth and point and curve and do a whole bunch of crazy things. Also, while you're at the base of this tail and the base of the feet that you did, you will now heat up that whole little central area and press and flatten. And you have tap off the cold weld, and you have a cat. And mine, I think, actually, yeah, it actually sits both ways, and I don't know if you can see that or not. And I will do another video or picture of it. The front legs are a little bit short for that particular ideal. I could probably make them a little longer, and it will work out real well. But it sits like that, and it can stand also. Now let's back to you, and let's see where you can go for it. Doing the curlicue tail okay, it looks like?
Oh, yeah, trying.
Now heat up the base of where the feet are.
I have to cold weld back onto the tail.
What happened?
I'm gonna have to cold weld onto the tail, I think.
Okay. Back down to 1, which is probably me watching it. That's okay. This is about your lesson, and it's very important that you understand that I'm here for you, not for the audience. The audience is a plus, but I'm here for you. Okay, if anybody's got a request, if they're still in chat room and wants to make a request of something that they'd like to see done, I'm going to do another really quick cat. Cap it off, fire polish. You had the weld better than you thought you did.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can use the tweezers to pull it off. Fire polish where that cold weld was. I expect to see a picture of that one up. Again, it's the idea, and you're learning the shape and where to put things. And I know you'll have that cat is not seeing its last friend. Let's just put it that way. I think it looks pretty good the way you have it sitting too, just from what I can see. Okay.
It's
Eric, if you're still there and you want to make a request, I'm going to do another really quick cat from beginning to end so he can see it. And I'm going to put myself on the main screen. You know, that's a very good idea. Thank you very much for thinking of that, Dave. Drinking on the job. How dare you? The only thing that upsets me about you drinking on the job is I didn't think of it first. Good stuff. Just some water, but does the job. Okay, we're going to make the same cat beginning to end. This should be about 3 to 4 minutes tops. And again, this peanut shape you'll be able to use for the body of your dragons, your horses, your people. It's something that you'll use over and over and over again. And one of the things I did notice is you were trying to really over-exaggerate some of it.
Yep.
Now, see how that I'm heating it and letting gravity work for me, and it's slumping. And that's going to be the back part of the cat right there. I'm going to put the cold weld, not a cold weld, a good weld right there, where the tail comes together with the back end. See there?
Yep.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull off the front end, and all it is, again, it's just a basic peanut shape. Or bean, or whatever you want to call it, but that's all. You go about 1/4 of an inch above, heat it up, round it in, and boom, you got it. That's the shape of your cat body. Now the legs. Here we go. You heat up to one side. And I usually work right to left, but you can work left to right, it doesn't matter. That's the way I usually do things. Like when I do a turtle, I'll do usually the front right, front left, then the back left, and then the back right. I'll always go clockwise around something to do it. But in this case, we're doing the back right, and I make a press like that. Just that's all it is, and it makes a little bit of a round disc. You could use those discs later in making eyes to owls, and just big round eyes and something. If you want to flatten it out and then put another little disc in the middle of that makes a nice eye-looking shape. Again, that those shapes, these alphabet of shapes that you're learning, are something that you'll be doing over and over and over again, and making them work for you, and making them part of your repertoire of being able to draw out animal for animal, shape for shape. It'll come to you. It really will. I like the way you added your own little style to that snail and made it look like a snail. That's the main thing. You're out to create your own designs, but what I'm doing with you and others is to give them a direction to go in, because a lot of times they're going, where do I start? How do I get there from here? But that's what this is all about, is so that people can learn how to go forward from here, so that you're getting a chance to melt some glass. And yes, you're going to waste a lot of glass no matter what you do. Even I mean, if I could have some of the stuff the expensive colored glass when I started playing with it, oh man, if I had some of that back now, I could make some good stuff out of it.
Yeah.
But it's okay to use it as hint as you know, embellishments and design. And if you want to use it for the whole color, that's fine too. Now, usually on the neck of my cats, I have it sort of curved back just slightly, and then I heat up a little bit more and make the round ball for the head. You can see this all coming together now. Round ball for the head, and I sort of heat it, and it's sort of plumping forward. It's almost like a karate looking thing going on. I noticed that. Now the ears that I talked about, this time I'm going to do it the flat and pull method so that people can see it a different way. I'll just do a round ball, pull it off, and the way I pull things off, you'll notice that some people like to do this long, thin strand thing, and those long, thin strands all over your bench is not a good thing to have, because once you start sweeping up, it sort of stabs into you time and time again. So to eliminate some of it, I do this, where you heat it up, it's almost coming apart, and then I do sort of like a DQ swirl thing, and that sort of brings it apart and then rounds off into each thing. Like you can see there, both things are rounded. There's not a point going on. Now, tweezers, simple tools. I believe in a lot of simple tools, and yes, you can get more complex ones, but tweezers are always a good thing to have in your repertoire. You flatten it out. Got nice round ears at this point, but once I heat it up and pull it out, it will be pointed ears. Okay. This is heated up a little bit more. Just at the middle or base of that round disc you just made, and pull it out. You got a nice pointed ear. And again, you do the same thing. Heat up the ear itself. Touch just at the middle in the top. Pull out, and you got a nice top to the ear. This time, I think I'm going to do a blue-eyed cat. I've got some blue exotic, I think, or something. No, this is the moon blue. Touch two, pull out, heat it up, round it in. Touch two, heat it up, pull it out, round it in. And then you do the nose to the cat. You heat up just where you put in the nose a little bit. Seal it in, pull it out a little bit, and then pull it up just slightly, and then round it down into a nice little ball for a nose. And it has enough information that people would say that's a cat, believe it or not. It's also, if you do it a little bit different, make it a little longer, you've got a, you can do a Chihuahua, you can do, matter of fact, that does look a little like a Chihuahua, doesn't it? Never mind. A glass monkey, I see. I'm sorry I haven't been looking, but I haven't gotten to that point anyway. So, but yeah, that's good. Eric, I think I will. Well, a monkey is basically the cat, but in a different little bit of shape too. So that'll show you the same basic shapes going on again that make it in a different direction to make the same basic animal. Okay, now here's the cat tail again. You heat it up a little bit, and then I curve it in another direction, then let it cool a little bit, heat it up, curve it around again in another direction, and there you go. Now you can, to make sure that you got a nice base going on, heat it up right near the tail and the two back haunches and press. This cat is sort of sitting up and begging. I also do one sort of sitting, another one sort of like the Sphinx sitting style. I'll probably do that, one of those designs later on. Okay. How are we doing over there, Dave? Liking what you're seeing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, variation, same animal. Well, no, not same animal. We're going to do a little monkey real quick, a glass monkey. Same basic shapes. I mean, you got the haunches going on, the tail going on, the head in basically the same way. You're going to do the ears a little bit different. You're going to maybe put a banana in his hand, it's surprising just the subtle changes in one direction or another can make a totally different animal, totally different shape, that you're not confusing and saying, is that a cat or a monkey? You're saying that's a monkey, that's a cat. I gear most of the images that I do to the 5-year-old in all of us. I don't know how I do it, but that's the way it works for me. Okay, now I'm doing the same basic body shape and tail that I did for the cat that I'm going to put on this monkey. There we go. Now with the legs on the monkey, I'm going to do them a little bit different. I am going to sort of do what I call the L-bend leg for the back. And that's where you heat it up, you pull it out slightly, you go out about 1/4 of an inch, and heat it up again and go in another direction, just in an L shape. Again, you heat it up to the body, touch it too, pull it out, and then let it cool a little bit and pull it out again in another direction. Now, while these are still warm, I'm going to, I've got a pair of pliers that I've also used instead of tweezers sometimes. I'm going to flatten, so like the palms of the hands that go for the monkey's feet. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of the nub for the thumbs. And again, just changing it subtly in one direction or another. Same basic animal, same basic shapes, but just changing it subtly in one direction or another, you've got a totally different animal. Legs in the front, same basic directions that they did the last time, out and curved around maybe. I'm not even going to put a banana in his hand. I can. I usually do sometimes, just to give it that little accent of a monkey. Okay? Do the same basic thing. I'm going to add a little bit of a blob. I should have added it when I was doing it, but I didn't. And then I'm going to flatten. These are flathead pliers. And I do a nice pinch. Another pinch. He's basically waving, hello, how are you? And you can sit there and put four fingers and 4 toes if you wanted to. But that basically, it's like, ah. Now the head. I usually elongate it just slightly from what I do with the cat. Again, it is very important. These things can look like crap to begin with when you're learning a new animal or whatever, but make sure your welds are great. Make sure your welds to the piece are the most important part. The foundation of good glass blowing is strong welds and strong, you just want it to be one piece of glass after you're through, not two pieces of glass stuck together.
Yep.
And the stronger your foundation of welding things together and making it the way you want it is better glass blowing in the end. Okay, now my monkey ears, I usually make them to the sides of the head, like so. And then I'm going to come back and round those off a little bit. Big, round, lumpy ears. And I'm going to, oops, I touched that to the, come on, get up there. Up. There it goes. Still didn't come off. That's okay. Okay, let's flatten them out a little bit. If you have any questions, Dave, you can talk to me. You know that you're live.
Oh yeah.
I know you're sitting there amazed with what I'm doing, but you can't talk. That's part of a chat room, voice chat room anyway. Oh, we got 3 people watching. Yay, we're up. Our viewing audience has doubled.
People of the world.
We'll get there. I'm sorry, people. We're going for it. Okay, now the eyes. I'm going to do some blue eyes on this thing. And the nose for the monkey is very similar to, actually I do it a little bit different. I make it just a nice little round bulbous looking thing on his forehead, on his face there. And maybe even a little bit of a smile going on the end of it. Feed it in. And again, it's very important to make sure you're making good welds here. Seal it in well. It's learning how to keep just what you're heating in the flame to the flame, not everything else that you're melting all around it at the same time. It comes with practice, but there is usually an angle. You will find it. Have faith. And even if you have to go to a hand torch or a single flame torch, that's fine too. Major, minor type thing going on. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of sort of a nostril thing for the nose. And now, just a real quick tail curve going on. And he's done.
Very nice. Just pretty much like a cat then.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, you're going to be doing the same shapes over and over and over, but changing the subtle differences between, the longer nose, the tufts on the top of the head for a dragon instead of the tufts on the ears for or tufts on the mane for the horse. It's just the way you put it together and just changing it, just like, again, alphabet of letters. You put together H-A-T, and you've got the word hat. You've got used those same letters together, C-A-T, cat, and you've got a totally different image, a totally different animal in your head.
Yep.
Okay? Just making sure I wasn't sure which hand I had that cold weld on. But we're doing good, folks. And that is done. And I will have a picture of these on my webpage, Facebook page. I think I've got to open up a whole new Facebook page just for melting memories, so that people can get a chance to come in and chat with us, and also show off some of their glass blowing. It's all in the learning stage and all in the getting the ideas down. Maybe I'll try to do a pumpkin the next time around, Eric. And with that, Do you have any questions, Dave?
No, I pretty much got it down. I just got to practice on getting all
Oh
the
yeah, practice, practice, and oh, by the
parts
way,
right.
practice and more practice. Um, with that, I'm going to shut off the live broadcast. Nice having you guys in the audience, people, and thank you for your support. And it's all a growing experience, and I'm here to learn. So is Dave, so is Eric, and whoever else wants to watch this thing. Again, thank you very much, and enjoy your day.